कहाँ से आए अपने आप को जानो, राजयोग के द्वारा अपना परम पिता पहचानो। इसी राजपथ पर चलकर तुम पालो अपना बसेरा। तुम हो आत्मा तन से न्यारे, परमात्मा को प्यारे। दिव्य गुणों को धारण करके योगी बनो दुलारे। ज्योति बिंदु ही तोड़ेगा ये माया मोह का घेरा। अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति।
हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, तन मन सेवा में लगाएंगे। चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर, स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे,
हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, तन मन सेवा में लगाएंगे। चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर, स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे।
त्याग तपस्या और सेवा विश्व में शांति लाएगी।
त्याग तपस्या और सेवा विश्व में शांति लाएगी।
युगों से प्यासी रूहें शिव से मिलन मनाएगी।
युगों से प्यासी रूहें शिव से मिलन मनाएगी।
अमृत भरे कलश से सबको दिव्य अमृत पिलाएंगे।
चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, तन मन सेवा में लगाएंगे। चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे। धर्म और दुखियों का बनना हमें सहारा है। जन जन को पावन बना दो, शिव ने आज पुकारा है।
बुझा हुआ हर आत्म दीपक ज्ञान की ज्योति जगाएंगे।
चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, तन मन सेवा में लगाएंगे। चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे।
नए विश्व अब देवलोक का करना नव निर्माण है।
नए विश्व अब देवलोक का करना नव निर्माण है।
स्वर्ग स्थापन करता शिव की देनी अब पहचान है।
स्वर्ग स्थापन करता शिव की देनी अब पहचान है।
बिछड़ी हुई हर आत्माओं को शिव से हम मिलाएंगे।
चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, तन मन सेवा में लगाएंगे। चलेंगे शिव बाबा की मत पर स्वर्ग धरा पर लाएंगे। हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे, हम दुनिया नई बनाएंगे।
ओम शांति। Today Baba says we should exchange everything old with the new one. In the path of devotion too, we used to say, whatever is mine is all yours. Baba doesn't tell us to leave everything. He tells us to exchange the old with the new one. We should utilize all our mind, money and body in service. Baba says, make everything of Father and become trustee. If we become trustee, if we become instrument, then we won't be attached to anything else. Today is 3rd April 2023. Essence. Sweet children, the Father has come to give each of you a third eye of knowledge with which you become wise and come to know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. Question. What is the easy way to make both you, the soul, and your body pure and claim a right to a royal status? Answer. Exchange everything worth straws that you have, including your body. Hand everything over to the Father. Sacrifice yourself fully. Make Father your trustee. Make the Father your trustee. Continue to follow Srimad. And both you, the soul, and your body will become pure, and you will claim a royal status. Janak surrendered himself and received life, liberation in life. When you children make the Father your heir, you will receive all rights for 21 births. Baba says, first make Father your heir and you will receive all rights for 21 births. Song. Show the path to the blind ones, dear God. In the path of devotion, we've been wandering here and there in search of God, and the Father has come and liberated us from the path of devotion. Om Shanti. You children heard the song. Devotees call out to God. Because of not knowing God accurately, people are so unhappy. They continue to beat their heads so much on the path of devotion. It is not a question of just this one birth. They have been wandering around from the time that the path of devotion began. It was only in Bharat that there was the kingdom of worthy of worship deities. That was called heaven. The land of truth, Bharat, is now the land of falsehood. The praise of Bharat is very great because it is the birthplace of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. His real name is Shiv. People celebrate Shiv Jayanti. It is not called Rudra or Somnath Jayanti because his real name is Shiva. It is called Shiv Jayanti or Shivratri. Now, all are without sight and without an intellect because the five vices have entered them. Ravan comes and locks our intellect. Baba says, now you all are without sight and without intellect because the five vices have entered them. Ravan has made them without sight or intellect. It is the Father who gives us the third eye, and it is Ravan who made us without sight or without intellect. They continue to cause sorrow for one another. When Bharat was heaven, there was no mention of sorrow. It is heavenly God, the Father, who establishes heaven. The God of all the devotees has to be one. All are without sight. They don't have an eye of knowledge or divine insight. God speaks, I teach you Raj Yoga. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the main one. Shri means you are now being made wise by the elevated directions. The divine eye means each of you is given a third eye of knowledge. In fact, you Brahmins receive the third eye of knowledge through which you know the Father and the beginning, the middle and the end of the Father's creation. And while continuing in this path of knowledge, at times the third eye gets closed. This is the reason why we showed this third eye to the deities. But in reality, we receive the third eye in this confluence age, and we Brahmins receive this third eye. But then we show it for deities. At this time, it is the ego of the body and the five vices that are omnipresent. This is why all are in extreme darkness. You children are enlightened. You souls know the history and geography of the whole world. Baba comes and removes us from the darkness. He gives us light. He gives us the light of knowledge. He comes from far away. He comes from the supreme abode for us to teach. Previously, all of you were ignorant. When the Sadguru gives the ointment of knowledge, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. Knowledge is earning, knowledge is wealth, knowledge is might. Those who were worthy of worship has become worshippers. Those who are worthy of worship are in light, and those who are worshippers are in dark. God Himself is not called a worthy of worship, one who then becomes a worshipper. He is supremely worthy of worship, the one who makes everyone else worthy of worship. He is called supremely worthy of worship, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Krishna cannot be called this. No one would call him God the Father. Everyone only calls incorporeal God, God the Father. He too is a soul, but because He is supreme, He is called Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The form of souls and the Supreme Souls is the same. We are definitely souls, and the God is the one who constantly resides in the Supreme Abode. In English, He is called the Supreme Soul. The Father says, "You have been singing that souls remain separated from the Supreme Soul for a long time. We come onto this world in the beginning, from the golden age. It isn't that God remains separated from God for a long time. The foremost ignorance is to say that each soul is the Supreme Soul and that the Supreme Soul is each soul. Soul enter the cycle of birth and rebirth. God doesn't take rebirth. The Father sits here and explains. You people of Bharat were worthy of worship, residents of heaven. All of this is therefore the godly family. Acha, tell me, whom do you call the mother and father? Who says this? It is you souls who say you are the mother and father, and we receive a lot of happiness of heaven through your mercy. We did receive a lot of happiness in heaven. You, the mother and the father, come and establish heaven, and so we become your children. The Father says, I only come at the confluence age and teach Raj Yoga for the new world. The Father comes and explains, you have forgotten me. We have forgotten Father, thereby we've been wandering here and there in the path of devotion. You people celebrate my Shiv Jayanti, birthday of Shiva in Bharat, do you not? Shivratri, in brackets, night of Shiva, is also remembered. Which night? This is the unlimited night of Brahma. He comes at the confluence age and changes night into day, that is, he changes hell into heaven. No one knows the meaning of Shivratri. God is incorporeal. The names of bodies of human beings change birth after birth. The Supreme Father doesn't have any body. Whatever names he got is because of the actions he rendered. The Supreme Soul says, I don't have a name for a body. My name is Shiva. Shiva means benevolent, benefactor. I simply take the support of the old, retired body. The one was worthy of worship and has now become a worshipper. Shiva Baba comes and creates heaven. We are his children, so we should surely be the master of heaven, should we not? Shiva Baba is the highest on high. The paths of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar are their own. Each actor has his own individual part. Each soul's part of happiness is fixed. The Father comes every cycle and makes the residents of Bharat into residents of heaven. People have forgotten him. They say, so and so has become a resident of heaven. We have so much happiness in heaven that whenever someone dies, we say he has went to heaven. He has abode to heaven. They say so and so has become a resident of heaven. Oh, but why? But it is now hell. And so we would surely take rebirth in hell too, would he not? So why do you give the soul the food of hell? In heaven, they have many physical comforts. So why do you invoke the soul here and give him the food of hell? You give food to an impure Brahmin priest and you serve him onions, etc. These things do not exist there. Therefore, just look at the condition of Bharat. God seeks, I am now giving each of you a third eye of knowledge. You will then become the kings of the kings once again. Deities have taken 84 births and changed from worthy of worship to worshippers. You know that we became Shiv Baba's has. Shiv Baba made us into residents of heaven, and this is why everyone remembers him and says, O God, the Father, have mercy. We surely remember that it is the Supreme Father who made us like that, like residents of heaven. We remember him and say, O God the Father, have mercy. Even holy men make spiritual endeavor. Because there is sorrow here, they want to go to the land of Nirvana. They want to go beyond this world and they want to go to the land of Nirvana. If a great soul leaves their body, we say they've been to the land of Nirvana. They went to the land of Nirvana. A soul cannot merge into the Supreme Soul. To think that is a mistake. You now say, we souls are residents of the Supreme Abode. we souls will go into the deity clan and then take 84 births. From the deity clan, we souls will then go into the warrior, merchant and Shudra's clan. The first mistake we did is that we said the soul is the Supreme Soul and the Supreme Soul is the soul. And this is the reason why from the deity clan we souls then go into the warrior, merchant and the Shudra clan. Shiv Baba doesn't enter birth and rebirth. He simply comes and makes Bharat into heaven. It is remembered there was the Sun dynasty kingdom of Lakshmi Narayan in the Golden Age. Just as there was the Edward I, II, III in the Christian dynasty, in the same way there are Lakshmi and Narayan, the first, second, third there. In this way there is a dynasty of 8. The third eye of each of you Brahmins has now opened. The Father sits here and speaks to you souls. Baba reminds us that I talk to the soul. It is by going around the cycle of 84 births that you have taken this many births. They have made a picture of different clans in which they show the deity, warrior, merchant and Shudra clans. You now know that we Brahmins are the top knot. At this time, we are the children, we are God's children in a practical way. Baba has come and Baba teaches us that in order to become deities, first we have to become a Brahmin. At this time, we are God's children in a practical way. We are now receiving a lot of happiness from Raj Yoga and knowledge. Some claim the inheritance of Sun dynasty. On the other day, the Baba explained us that it is Brahma who creates a fortune. But then Baba has explained very beautifully that it is through the Srimad of Shiv Baba that Brahma Baba has made a path and we have followed the Father Brahma. And this is the reason why it is said that Brahma creates the fortune of everyone. We are now receiving a lot of happiness from Raj Yoga and knowledge. Some claim the inheritance of Sun dynasty king and queen, and others claim that of the Moon dynasty. The whole kingdom is being established. Each of you will claim the status through your own efforts. If any of you ask what status would receive if you were to leave your body while studying, Baba could tell you. Someone asked Baba that Baba, what status would I receive when I leave my body? He used to do a lot of service. So he went and he asked Baba that what status would I receive? Then Baba said, you would be receiving a high status in subjects. So, Baba says, only by having yoga will your life only by having yoga will your lifespan increase and your sins will be absolved. There is no other way to become pure from impure. By saying purifier, you remember God, but no one knows who God is. The Father says, I come in Bharat. This is my birthplace. Baba only comes to Bharat because this is his birthplace. The Somnath temple was so beautiful. Only the Father explains all of this to you children. Scriptures of this are then made later on. All of those memorials began to created on the path of devotion. When people become worshippers, they first build a temple of Somnath, Lord of Nectar. On the path of devotion, people have built many beautiful temples. Bharat was very wealthy in the golden and silver ages. They had limitless wealth in the temples. Bharat was as valuable as a diamond. It is now poverty-stricken worth shells. The Father has come and is once again making Bharat as valuable as a diamond. The whole tree has reached a stage of total decay. The Father says, look at your face in the mirror. Are you worthy of marrying Lakshmi or Narayan? There is the story of Narad. How could an impure soul marry pure Lakshmi or Narayan? When you indulge in vice, your passport is cancelled. When we become pure, we get the license, we get the passport of going into the land of golden age, into the land of heaven. But once we indulge in vice, Baba says, your passport is cancelled. You have to look at yourself. Am I making such effort that I can be seated on the throne of Mama and Baba? This is an impure world. Purity is the main thing. There is no health, no wealth, no happiness. This kingdom is like a mirage. There is story of Duryodhan in the scriptures about this. Duryodhan is someone who indulged in vice. Draupadi says, protect my honor. You are Draupadi's. The Father explains so well. Didi is saying, does Baba teach very well? Baba explains well. And we children doesn't even appreciate Baba that yes Baba, you do explain us. To the extent that your intellects are connected fully in yoga, accordingly, you will be also able to imbibe. Knowledge is studying in the state of celibacy. The Father says, while living at home with your families, live like a lotus. Fulfill your responsibilities to both sides. Baba says you have to study well. You definitely have to die. When a person is about to die, he is given a mantra. The Father says, all of you are going to die. I, the death of all deaths, will take you everyone back. Therefore, you should be happy, should you not? Those who study well will become the master of heaven. Those who don't study will claim the status of subjects. You have come here to claim a royal status. This is a study. There is no question of blind faith here. This study is for claiming a kingdom. You have a name and objective in other studies. When you are to become a barrister, you have to connect your yoga to the teacher who teaches you. Similarly, here God is teaching you, and so you have to show yoga with Him. The Father says, I come from the Supreme Abode from very far away. He comes us from far. He comes from the far away from the Supreme Abode in order to teach us. It is beyond the subtle region. And Baba says how much? It is even higher than the subtle region. It takes me a second to come from there. Nothing can be faster than Him. I give you liberation in life in a second. Baba says it takes me a second to come from there. Nothing can be faster than Him. I give you liberation in life in a second. This is the example of Janak. Baba says in order to receive liberation in life, you have to do a lot of effort. You have to make intense effort. There is the example of Janak. It is now hell, the old world. Heaven is called the new world. The Father inspires the destruction of hell and the establishment of heaven. However, what would you receive by saying that He is omnipresent? Nothing at all. The Father comes and makes you into the masters of heaven, whereas all other souls will go to the land of peace. Souls are immortal and have received an eternal part. So, how could souls be bigger or smaller? Souls are stars. They cannot be any bigger or smaller. You are Godfatherly students. God, the Father, is knowledgeful and blissful. He is now teaching you. You know that we will become deities once again in this way. You are serving Bharat. First of all, you have to belong to the Father. In other places, people go to the Gurus. They belong to them, that is, people make them their Gurus. Here, there is the Father, and so you first have to become Father's children. Here there is Father, and so you first have to become the Father's children. This Father, the Father gives you children His property. The Father says, children, exchange everything. Baba says you'll definitely receive property, but you have to exchange the old one with the new one. Everything of yours, what's yours, is mine. Everything of mine is yours. Give me whatever you have, including your bodies. Baba says, I will purify you souls and your bodies too, and then also give you a royal status. Baba says, I'll purify you and give you a royal status. Sacrifice whatever you have. Make me your trustees and follow my Srimad. Janak surrendered himself together with his kingdom, and so he received liberation in life. Baba, all of this is yours. You see, make me your hire. I will make you my hire for 21 births. Simply follow my directions. You may do your business, go abroad, do anything you want, but simply follow my directions. You have to remain cautious. Maya will repeatedly make you fall. You mustn't commit any sins. Follow Srimad at every step, and you will become elevated. The Father is the bestower. He simply makes you into trustees. You see, God has given this wealth and this child, etc. Now, God says, give everything to me. I will exchange it for you. I promise that when you follow Srimad, I will make you so elevated. This is Rajyog. Lakshmi and Narayan became that through this Raj Yoga. Birla himself, who built the Lakshmi and Narayan temple, doesn't know how Lakshmi and Narayan became so wealthy. The father now explains. The father now explains, the poor ones here will become wealthy there. Everything of the wealthy here is to turn into dust. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. And we spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharna. First point. In order to be seated on the throne of the mother and the father, you have to imbibe purity. Fulfill your responsibilities to both sides and pay full attention to the study. Second point. Do not commit any sins. Remain very cautious and continue to follow Srimad. Definitely become a trustee. Blessing. May you be a jewel of the forehead and constantly keep your awareness of the Father immersed in the center of your forehead. May you be a jewel of the forehead and constantly keep your awareness of the Father immersed in the center of the forehead. Explanation. A jewel of forehead means Constantly have remembrance of the Father in one's head. This is known as the highest stage. Always consider yourself to be an elevated soul who is stable in the highest stage and thereby continue to move forward. Those who stay in this highest stage are easily able to overcome all the many types of situations down below. The problems stay down below and you stay up above. The place of jewel of the forehead is high on the forehead, and so do not come down. Stay constantly up above. Slogan: in order to experience the stage of carefree emperor, transform mine into yours. Nothing is mine, everything is yours. Avyakt signals. Always let your subtle form of light be visible in front of you. I have to become like that, and your future form should also be visible. Both, it should be visible, the form of light be visible in front of you, and also your future form should be visible. Now shed this form and take on that form. When you experience this stage, you can understand that you are close to perfection. Let that body through which you are making effort be completely merged. The light form was so merged in the body that people could see that light when they used to see Father Brahma in a practical way. Therefore Baba says you should immerse that light form in your body in the physical way, in the physical form.
के लिए गेट नंबर 7 के पास पहुँचें, जहाँ चंद्रेश भाई आपको कुछ सेवा देंगे, तो तुरंत उठ करके गेट नंबर 7 के पास पहुँचेंगी। मीटिंग के भाई बहन कृपया 2 मिनट बैठे रहेंगे तो अच्छा है। मीटिंग ठीक 10 बजे कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल में प्रारंभ होगी। विशेष अनुरोध है 10 बजे पहुंचिएगा। दूसरी सबसे मुख्य सूचना मीटिंग के लिए, आप सभी को पता है कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल की कैपेसिटी 1400 की है और मीटिंग की संख्या 2000 के आसपास है। साथी बहनें या साथी भाई कोई भी आए हुए हैं, उनसे नम्र निवेदन है कि बड़ी बहनें उनको अपने साथ में नहीं बिठाएं और कृपया आप सभी को मीटिंग की जो माला मिली हुई है अवश्य पहन करके आए। बाहर सेवाधारी होंगे, उसके बगैर शायद आपको टोके नहीं, तो विशेष ये सहयोग आप सभी मीटिंग के भाई बहनों से रहेगा। कल भी मीटिंग की बहनें बाहर बैठी हुई थी और साथी बहनें अंदर हॉल में बैठी हुई थी। विशेष सहयोग की कामना है। तीसरी बात, मीटिंग हमारी 7 तारीख तक है। 8 तारीख जाने का दिन है, फिर भी पूछती हूँ, कल 4 तारीख कौन जाने वाले हैं? ज़रा हाथ खड़ा करेंगे या खड़े हो जाएंगे तो दिखेगा। कोई नहीं है। 5 तारीख जाने वाले कोई है? हाथ खड़ा नहीं करें, दिखता नहीं है, खड़े हो जाइएगा प्लीज। 5 तारीख जाने वाले कोई नहीं है। 6 तारीख जाने वाले, पीछे कौन है? पीछे खड़े होके हाथ खड़ा कीजिएगा। 3 4 है। 5 6 तारीख जाने वाले कौन है? खड़े होकर के हाथ खड़ा करिएगा। ओके। 7 तारीख सुबह जाने वाले कौन है? ओके, बैठ जाइएगा। दादी जानकी की जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने टिकट निकाली थी, जिनके को चाहिए, बख्शी भाई ज्ञान अमृत भवन वाले, उनसे लीजिएगा। ज्ञान अमृत और वर्ल्ड रिन्यूअल के मेंबर्स बनाने हो या रिन्यू करने हो तो भी आप ज्ञान अमृत विभाग के बख्शी भाई से कांटेक्ट करेंगे। सभी भाई बहनों का, मीटिंग वालों का भोजन बड़े भंडारे के 1st फ्लोर पर है। और बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि भारत सरकार के जल मंत्रालय ने जल ही जीवन है और जल की बचत और वेस्टेज को फिर से रिसाइकिल करके उसको यूज़ करना, उसके उपलक्ष्य में अपने जल डिपार्टमेंट के शंभू भाई को अवार्ड दिया है जल मंत्रालय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने। तो उनका सम्मान किया जा रहा है। ये वहाँ से ही उन्हों को प्राप्त हुआ है। एक छोटी शील्ड है, सर्टिफिकेट है और शॉल है। थैंक यू। ओम शांति। 3 मिनट बाबा की याद में बैठेंगे।
रोशन